Oh, it's you. Hello. Welcome to Edge Files.
Hello. It's me.
How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to Edge Files. We have a crazy show for you tonight. Before we get started, though, please welcome our, what do we call ourselves? Our team, co-host, whatever. Trucker Andy and Miss Kaylee Lucy Tightbox.
Whoop whoop.
Wait,
Hey,
do we need like an
what's going
applause or
on?
something?
We've been talking about how we're all edging ourselves constantly, so I'm ready to edge right now.
We all want that for you.
Yeah. You misunderstood what I was trying to say, but yes.
Oh, wow.
No, she
Listen,
didn't.
I'm
Shut
just
up.
a dumb woman. I don't understand.
Hey, thanks so much for being here, everybody. We have... I actually really had to consider this particular topic for this show because, man, this one gets dark. This one gets really dark. And given our hilarious and fun episode from 2 weeks ago when Andy introduced us to dino porn, I really kind of debated, but I was like, man, this one's just too interesting. I really do have to go with it. So I do hope that everyone
Luigi,
enjoys this one.
Let me tell you, people want the dark stuff because Woody from Syracuse is saying, please, for the love of God, no more erotic books, please. We need a break with some dark, crazy stuff. So you are going to be introducing us today to the disappearance of Susan Cox Powell. Is that correct?
That is correct. So let me ask, have either of you heard of this story before?
Kaylee always has, and I always haven't. That's the way this always goes.
Listen, you uncultured swine. No,
Yeah.
this is actually a story that I followed a lot when it was happening. So, 10 years ago now? I have not looked at it.
Yeah.
I have not looked at it since then. I remember almost nothing.
Okay.
So I am
That's good.
excited to rehear about it.
Good. This has been a story that, like, I think I probably heard about it. Yeah, probably same as you, like 10 years ago. And I was just fascinated. I was like, wow, this is one of those stories that is so stranger than fiction. I mean, it is crazy and it takes a lot of crazy turns. And so I just thought it was perfect for this show.
Remind me, because the last time you said, I don't know if I should do the really sad one or the really upsetting one. You had two awful choices that you were going to subject us to. Is this the sad or the crazy one?
This one is probably a combination of both. It is crazy, but it's going to put everyone in a bad mood after when I'm done telling the story. And it's going to make you want to hug your loved ones. It's crazy and very, very sad. So
I'm going to get my dino porn ready.
Yeah.
Or my hockey porn. I don't know.
I think that's what makes this show fun, though, is you sometimes it's going to be wild and, off the wall, and sometimes it's going to be sinister, and you don't know what to expect. So I'm looking forward to hearing about it and crying afterward.
Awesome. Okay. Well, let me give you just a quick rundown, an overview of the story. My mouth is not working.
Mine either. Dino porn.
Now you make me wonder, what did a dino penis look like?
Oh, yeah. Like the corkscrew style, like a cat?
I mean, you can't help but wonder.
Really?
At least me, anyway. Can't speak for anybody else. Okay, so what this story involves is a woman named Susan Cox Powell, who was, and yeah, actually, let me give this part of the overview, and that this is going to actually cover so many topics, but almost every topic that we find interesting. It involves Mormons, murder, conspiracy, sexual deviancy.
I'm listening.
Do I have your attention?
Yes.
It's nuts. But basically, here's the story. Susan Cox Powell was a member of the blah blah. I think I got it working now. If it was only that easy for women.
Listen, the ones that don't have teeth are also great. So,
Susan Cox Powell was a mother of 2 children, married to a guy named Josh Powell. They were both Mormons, lived in Utah, originally raised in Washington, Susan was, and she disappeared in 2009. And what's crazy about this story is that that's not where the story ends. Typically, where when we hear any kind of disappearance story, this one starts at her disappearance because a lot of crazy things happen after she disappears. Oh boy, it gets nuts. So that's the overview.
I always love, I just want to kind of talk about this a little bit. I love the idea of somebody disappearing and us never having an answer to that. That always, again, that kind of leads us into our Edge Files fun stuff kind of thing, because that is the mystery of what the universe is. How does somebody truly disappear in this world? And so that is why I'm so excited about this episode tonight.
And I'm going to tell you, this one is probably a little more unique in that we have a lot of clues to really kind of suggest exactly what happened and how and who was involved. We just can't prove it. A lot like, I don't know, like O.J. Simpson. We all just kind of know what happened.
Like the Bob Crane one.
Yeah,
they pretty
exactly.
much assumed that it was the partner, right?
So you're going to be talking about all the gloves in the Susan Cox Powell case tonight? That's the OJ. Before we get into the package, I do just want to say that Hunter Duke is here. Hunter Duke and the lovely Mrs. Duke, who I believe just had a birthday recently for $4.99. Thank you so much. Came here for the host, staying for the gay hockey and the kinky dino talk. It will be hard to beat the last episode. Yes. Luigi,
that last one was pretty great.
Yeah, but this has Mormons, and it didn't like Ruby Frankie and Hildebrand and all this come out of the same area. There's something going on there. I just can't guess what it is, what the problem could possibly be in Utah with all these people. But
that's another good one. I actually just recently watched a documentary about Frankie and Jody Hildebrand. That's a good one too.
Mm-hmm. It's awful. That's also awful, by the way.
That is awful. But that one has lesbians.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but Jody Hildebrand is one of them. So
take what you can get.
In prison, yeah.
So I am ready to get started if you guys are.
All right. Let me throw this package up here.
Josh Powell.
All right.
That's what I said.
We are going to just cover this from the very beginning to talk a little bit about Susan and her husband, Josh. And I'm going to probably have to stop it a lot because it does get a little confusing. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to let me know so that I can answer the questions. And also, I tried to really compress a very complicated story in as short of a time as possible because it is complicated. So there might be a few things I left out, but feel free to stop me.
Belaboring in the introduction to the show is going to help with
it's
that.
It's called edging.
I'm feeling it.
All right, here we go.
Let's go.
Powell and Susan Cox's story began like many others. A young couple falls in love and decides to wed in 2001. He was born in 1976 and, like Susan, was brought up in the Church of Latter-day Saints. His parents divorced in the early 90s, largely as Josh's father, Stephen, grew disillusioned with the church.
Okay, just really want to tell you how important that is to the story. So, being good Mormons, Josh's father apparently grew disillusioned with being Mormon, and just keep that in mind as the story goes on.
Stephen divorced his wife in 1992, and the divorce papers showed Josh grew up a troubled kid who attempted suicide, killed pet gerbils, and once threatened his mother with a butcher knife. In 2000,
That's Josh. That is the husband. This is who we're talking about. Already
Okay,
an
and this
asshole.
is- These are
The
wedding
older guy
photos
was
of
Josh?
them, and then the older guy is also him.
No. The older guy is his father.
His father.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And,
And
Josh.
The father is saying that Josh used to torture animals, all these like green lights for turning into a serial killer, right? The red
Exactly.
flags.
Red flags, yes. And apparently
He's-
that was from apparently those documents of his behavior came from the divorce paperwork when his parents got divorced, when they tried to get custody of the kids.
Dr. Loomis issued this
Yes,
statement
yes.
about this guy. Okay.
Dr. Loomis.
2000, he met Susan Cox, and they married a year later. She was also a member of the Latter-day Saints Church. As a young married couple, they were barely broke. And so they moved in with Josh's father, Stephen, who
Can you
All
pause
right.
for 1 second? I'm sorry.
Yep,
Can
there
I
you go.
just point out, we don't need to say that they were fairly broke. They literally have 2 balloons taped
Yeah.
onto lattices at their wedding. I know
Yeah.
that they are fairly broke.
Yeah, right. Where'd you have your wedding? The Elks Club Lodge that my uncle belongs to. There's like a
literally
buffalo-
shower curtain behind them.
There's a
Shower
moose wearing sunglasses on the left wall. Yeah.
It's funny because yes, it is obvious that they're broke, but I found it funny that there's a green screen there. And now that we're kind of all in the streaming world, I kind of thought to myself that they had planned to put like an exotic location
Oh.
in pictures on that green screen. That's just what I thought, but
Well, let me issue this challenge to everybody watching this to insert some super gay stuff on the screen behind this guy.
It's all
Dino
dino
porn.
porn now.
Don't
Yeah.
porn bomb our channel, Jesus. All right, I take it back.
all right. Here's where it gets a little weird.
also lived in Washington. Here, the story takes a very definite turn. Stephen Powell developed a disturbing sexual fixation with Susan.
Okay. So let's recap, even though we're only a minute and a half in. Susan and Josh get married. They're Mormons. And they're broke. So they have to move in with Josh's father.
Mhm.
And while living with Josh's father begins to develop a sexual attraction to Susan. And apparently makes it very, very well known.
What
Okay.
was she wearing? Is my question.
Clearly her fault.
Nothing.
Yeah, right. But the son is the serial killer type. or
We haven't
is
said
that-
anything. We haven't said anything.
Oh, I thought you were saying that guy was diagnosed with like. the
Oh,
report
okay.
of the
Yes,
kid.
that is true.
That's
yes,
the son, right?
The
And-
son
and now
killed
we have-
the son killed
He's
gerbils
the gerbil killer.
and then threatened his mother with a butcher knife.
So we have psycho son and pervy dad is what we're dealing with here.
That's what we're dealing with.
Okay, I follow.
Writing 17 notepads detailing this.
He starts writing journals talking about his obsession with Susan. And I cut this part out because I wanted to read this. This was apparently directly taken from his journal. And I'm going to read this aloud. I got it, don't worry. But I just want you to think about the scenario in which a couple moves in with a parent and the parent writes this. We'll talk about how this gets exposed later, but here we go. I know some people would think I am strange or even sick for collecting articles of Susan's lingerie, but try this one on for size. I just went to my Susan drawer and sniffed a small wad of her hair.
That's definitely never happened to me ever before.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. I thought that was a period there. I sniffed a small wad of her hair that I took from her hairbrush.
Yeah, okay. Not that he mined from her lingerie, right? That's disgusting.
Well,
Well,
there are reports, and I didn't include this in my video package because apparently
Oh.
they are disputed or not entirely clear. But apparently he did some pretty sick shit in which he collected her used tampons
Okay.
used sanitary pads.
It's all. It's not just her. The hairbrush she only uses
Right.
for a giant bush that he's
He
getting the hair from.
He
It's
collected them
also
and cataloged
any-
them with dates. I'm not kidding.
Used
Again,
stamped
definitely
on
never
November
happened to me.
31st.
As a woman, Kaylee, let me ask you. If you found out someone did this, would you be creeped out, or maybe be impressed that you're wanted, or that someone's obsessing over you?
I've never felt more honored.
Okay.
Please catalog the trajectory of my period.
Yeah. Please
And
rifle
stole-
through my trash can on Wednesdays when I put it out.
And stole her underwear. Yes, that's what he's talking about, stealing articles of her lingerie. Yes, and now you're also living with this person, and he makes it clear to you that he is attracted to you. So, if you want to call this attraction, not just a sickness. But apparently it got really, really weird. All right. So then...
He would follow her around, filming her on a camcorder, spied on her while she was in the bathroom, stole her underwear, read her diary, and posted love songs about her online.
creates love songs.
Well, that
So
one we
what-
enjoy.
Yeah, I
Don't
want to hear
steal our
that.
tampons, but I would like the love songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then videoed her without her knowledge while using the bathroom, and then apparently had hidden cameras in the house.
Where's the
Yeah,
mom?
again,
in
that one's
all
kinda
of
mid.
this?
The mom, I mean, they're divorced. Remember, the mom and the
So,
dad
yeah.
are divorced. So she's
So
not.
she's not in the picture.
She's not in the picture. I believe she lived in a different city. Can't remember exactly what her story was, but she was right to get away. Let's just
Well,
say
if I
all
know
that.
anything about people that move away from Salt Lake City, it's because they got sick of Mormonism and are trying to get as far away from it as possible. So
Oh yeah,
that's probably what it is.
And this is happening in Washington State, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So the mom's in Florida. Gotcha.
this sounds like a Florida story, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right. It gets so much worse, folks. This is the beginning.
The fact is, I can hardly control myself when it comes to her, he wrote. What has driven me in the past year is primarily lust. I have never lusted for a woman as I have for Susan. I take chances sometimes to take video clips of her, which I watch regularly. How I would love to kiss those lips, he wrote in his notebooks. Throughout other journal entries, Stephen wondered if their 31-year age difference would be an issue, and he cut out several newspaper articles that discussed age gap relationships.
So he makes it known to her. He says, "Hey, look, I know you're married to my son. Come on."
Yeah.
Why should that stand in the way of us having a sexual relationship? Look, I saw this article about, I don't know.
I saw this video on Pornhub.
Al Pacino and his wife and Mick Jagger and his wife. I mean, come on, it can work. And starts apparently presenting these things to her along with his songs he's singing on the internet. Kaylee, I don't know that I've ever seen you more creeped out, and I'm starting to feel like you're creeped out at me. So
No,
let me know that you're not creeped out at
never.
me.
Not at you. I just don't like the drawers. But I will say, Rumpled Trenchcoat, a Columbo podcast, has a very good point. I know that he is a disgusting creep. Thank you again for the $5. But I admit that I'm a little envious of his organizational skills. A whole Susan drawer categorized hair by dates. I could not possibly agree more with that. I never give men drawers, no matter if they are 31 years older than me. It's very impressive that he committed that much to her. Well done, sir.
I agree too. I'm like, man, having to keep like an actual catalog with dates, that sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, as soon as it turns into homework, it stops being fun. Not for this guy though, but for me, I mean. So I never
Right.
keep a diary of all the women that I stalk.
Give me more creepy stuff, please.
Oh, here we go. Ask and you will receive. Creepy, miss.
He seemed to take steps that hinted that he would somehow have a future with Susan, who was married to his son. Stephen wrote about selling his home after he learned she thought it was too dark. If Susan one day agreed to marry him, he explained, he would be able to buy a different home. I am still convinced she loves me and is sexually attracted to me, wrote Stephen.
So it is now gone to him saying she wants me.
Well, he
maybe
also
this
wants
is
to
a
buy her a new
dickhead.
house. I'm in again.
All right.
Yeah,
I mean, this is a dickhead thing to say, but I don't see what the fuss is about. Anyway, Susan,
Go on.
Still would, but I don't know. I don't know what the fuss is about. He must have walked in on her taking a dump.
Oh! You don't know what the fuss is about her, you mean?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I was like, the fuss is he's a creep.
No, I know.
Yes.
That's the problem. But
She kind of looks like a garbage pail kid, if you ask me.
Andy,
But whatever.
you don't like that smile? Look at that smile.
yeah. Miss Ing, that's her garbage pail kid name.
We got another one from Rumpled Trenchcoat. $2. Thank you so much. Hey, Dad. Remember the gerbils? Back off.
Mm.
Ugh.
Yeah. Never forget the gerbils.
He also allegedly made comments that he and his son could share.
Did you hear that? Apparently he says, look, I'm only an amendment to the package. You got my husband, you have my son. I'll just stick around. We share you. Come on. How's that sound? Yeah.
Gross.
Susan. In 2003, he confessed his feelings to her.
And guess what? She recorded it.
Yeah.
He confesses,
Yeah.
and she was
This is
very, very smart.
Me.
Yeah,
There
I was
you go.
going to say, this is DabbleCon 3. Let's hear this.
Folks, if there's anything where we're going to see a sharp decrease in our viewership, it's going to be right now.
I'm already getting cringe.
You should.
I'm getting embarrassed. I'm pre-embarrassed for this guy.
A cringe
that we're
boner?
about to listen- Yeah, no. No. It's more of anti-boner. I'm already embarrassed for this guy.
Here we go.
I'm probably wrong, but I'm really falling in love with you. And, I don't know. I mean, for the last year and a half, you're about the only thing we can think about.
I'm just going to pause us here and read this. So it says, Stephen, he's saying, I'm probably
Oh, yeah.
wrong, but I've really fallen in love with you. For the last year and a half, you're all that I think about. I don't know where it began. It probably began when you were living with me. All right, let's continue. And then
And I don't know where it began. It probably began when you were living with me, and you come into my office, let me feel your legs smooth, relax, or whatever, and then it just went from one thing to another.
So it probably began when you were living with me and you'd come into my office and let me feel your legs. I feel like that might have been manipulative. And it just went from one thing to another.
I would
That
also like to know,
experience-
what that means. Feel your
Yeah.
legs. Yeah.
Again,
That means he
what was
grabbed
she
her
wearing?
legs and she didn't stop him.
Andy asked the good questions. What was she wearing?
Yeah.
That experience on the couch about 6 months ago was a massage, right?
It was a massage, right?
That
Yeah.
experience on the couch, on your couch in Yakima 6 months ago was just, I know that, it was a massage, right? But just being with you for
But just being with you for 2 hours and holding you. Maybe I'm getting the wrong signals from you. Maybe I'm interpreting something that shouldn't be interpreted.
2 hours of holding you, and maybe I'm getting the wrong signals from you. Maybe I'm interpreting something that I shouldn't be interpreting. You know, it just, for example, when we were sitting on the couch, it just felt like you were very, you know, I mean, I was extremely.
For example, when we were sitting on the couch, it just felt like you were very, I was extremely aroused, and I think that you were somewhat aroused, at least I thought.
Is anyone else
And
getting
now-
horny listening to Kaylee say all this stuff?
I was gonna say none of you fucking creeps just isolate
Humana,
this.
humana.
Yeah.
Let's remember.
I'm gonna read the rest, okay? And
All right,
very
yeah.
No!
no, I'm just kidding.
Andy, you read the Susan parts.
I was extremely
aroused,
aroused.
and I think you were
Oh yeah, here now. Yeah, I like that. Andy, read Susan.
Andy gets to
Susan.
read the Susan
somewhat
parts.
aroused, at least I thought.
I don't know where you're going with this.
And Susan,
I don't know where you're going with this.
Susan, I don't.
yeah, well, I'll tell you what I'm
I'm married to your son, and I should just be the daughter-in-law.
I'm married to your son, and I should just be the daughter-in-law.
I know.
That's me.
On
Josh from Jersey said, "I'm so disgusted, my penis threw up." All right, so this is still only the introduction to the situation, folks. Susan and Josh move in with Josh's father, Stephen, and he confesses his, I'm not going to say love. This is so gross. His
Mental
obsession.
illness?
Yeah, his mental illness with her, and makes it very well known to her.
one occasion, Stephen tried to kiss Susan, and
And then one night he tries to kiss her. And apparently that went too far for Josh.
so Josh and Susan thought it for the best. They move out, and after they left, Stephen sent Susan a package featuring photographs of naked men.
I don't know.
Not him, though.
I don't have enough details. I tried to look up some of the details of that part of the story, but I couldn't really find them. But supposedly they move, and guess where they move, Andy?
Florida.
Utah, Salt Lake
Oh.
City.
Oh,
actually,
this was in Washington.
right.
Yeah.
Not. It's actually a suburb of Salt Lake City. I forget what it was called, but we'll hear about it in a little bit. But yes, they moved to Utah because they are grossed out. Yes, from her, Josh's father, and he decides to send her some sort of care package with.
But it's so funny that it's other men.
I don't know.
It's even
Again,
like,
I'm
I know
back
I look
in.
like a Ziploc bag full of oatmeal, so here's some pics that I stole off my friend Trucker Andy's phone.
Here's some pretzels, some candies that you like. Oh yeah, dicks. I don't really
My son
understand
isn't-
it.
My son's not packing this, right? What a creep.
SLC. What is SLC?
Salt Lake City Cup.
Salt Lake City. Got it. Thank you. West Valley City. Somebody here knows. Yes. West of Salt Lake City. West Valley City. All right. So here we go. we got a super chat from Woody from Syracuse. I changed my mind. Go back to dino fucking.
Yeah, right.
Oh, this gets so much worse.
Careful what you wish for, Woody.
They moved to West Valley City, a suburb
Hey.
of Salt Lake City. Susan and Josh went on to have 2 sons, Charles, born in 2005, and Braden, born in 2007. Now, Susan and Josh's marriage was not by any means perfect. There was tension, for example, due to the fact that Josh refused to attend church with his wife and 2 children. Also, money tended to burn a hole in his pocket. He filed for bankruptcy, claiming more than $200,000 in debt.
And I cut out a little bit there that talked about how he was very controlling. And when it came to money, As we just heard, he wasn't very good with it and declared bankruptcy, but apparently
Gino.
and apparently was overbearing with controlling Susan's spending. Like basically he would spend money on really stupid shit. Like he was apparently trying to start some kind of career in IT, and he bought like some real crazy expensive IT equipment, but then
he was trying to become a DJ. He was taking DJ lessons.
But would ask her to submit all of her spending to him in writing every day. And
Sounds
would
like
tell
Mormonism.
her yeah, it does, doesn't it?
I was
And
just
then-
gonna say sounds like men, but whatever. Same thing.
Well, apparently he was also a real dick about it and would be like, well, you should eat less. And
Sounds like men.
Oh, good advice too.
yes,
Yeah.
he's worried about her health. But we can't substantiate all that, but just saying it's part of the story.
Use less teeth was another criticism that he had.
I've been
was just
cataloging your
knocking them out.
tampons. Yeah, I've been cataloging your tampons. Do you have to constantly have these? Yes.
Yeah. I take after my old man in that way.
He was also being extremely controlling towards Susan. Susan confided in her friends about her fights with Josh and how she wished the two could seek counseling. In a letter to loved ones dated June 28, 2008,
Now back to the issue of her recording her dad. She was so fucking smart with her suspicions. She starts telling her friends and puts it in writing what she has experienced and how she feels, and even warns her friends and family, I think this guy might be capable of murder. And puts
Can
it
I
all
say
in
that
writing.
It's also creepy that people are still sending handwritten letters in 2008. I haven't sent a handwritten letter in I don't know the last time. Maybe it was
Elementary school.
2008.
It was
Yeah.
probably 2008. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, this lady was very smart and good for her.
Susan would reveal a
where
darker
it got her,
side to
though.
her husband, explaining that she no longer trusts him
True.
and warned how if something happened to her, it may not be an accident, even if it may look like one. The next month, Susan records an eerie video.
Today is
So I'm going to stop this so that we can read this real quick. She actually starts to consult with a lawyer about her situation and maybe even divorcing her husband. And the attorney says, if you're really kind of worried about money, document everything, what you own, what you have. So this here says, on the advice of an attorney, Susan Powell documented the possessions in her home, fearing that her husband Josh might sell off expensive items that he had purchased, including tools and electronics. This video was among the items police seized from her office after she disappeared in December 2009. And she does a very good job of putting on video the things that she believes were expensive things that he might try to sell. Were you about to say something, Kaylee?
Yeah. I have a minor issue with this,
Okay.
which is that usually when women are threatened by men, the concern is not money.
Shut up,
And
bitch.
so-
I'll kill you.
I own this and this. God damn it. All right. Just go on.
I thought it was
Um,
going to be the ice bucket challenge, so I'm disappointed too.
You're right. It's not. But her situation was that he had done such an inordinate amount of spending that when it came to a divorce and splitting the items, she thought that he would underhandedly try to get rid of them to say that they're not in his possession. Therefore, he wouldn't have to split them with her.
Yeah.
That-
Dude, fuck it.
Yeah.
Get out.
Well,
Get out, bitch.
That was her issue.
Tuesday, July 29th, 2008, and we are in the 6254 West Sarah Circle house. This is me. Hi. Sorry. July 29th, 2008. It is 12:33 Mountain Time.
In this box here, you see a collection of my tampons.
Yeah.
Not
it wasn't.
mine.
It wasn't Steven that was cataloging it. It was her. He just took them from her.
This is the hair bag.
Covering all my bases, making sure that if something happens to me or my family or all of us, that our assets are documented. Hope everything works out and we're all happy and live happily ever after as much as that's possible.
See, and I'm with you, Kaylee, in that I feel like this was a drastic step for someone who maybe thought life was ending soon. Like this is very drastic to do and then stay with the person. I mean, it's crazy, but still she did it, you know?
I have to document my possessions. This is my inflatable twin mattress, and this is my big Billy Bass that I got for Christmas. Nobody could take these from me.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm sitting here trying to think of what I could. I have a record of L. Ron Hubbard's jazz album. It's an original. I would want to make sure that was documented.
On December 6, 2009, after attending church services and spending time with her neighbor, at around 5 p.m., Susan decides to lie down for a nap after reportedly not feeling well. Josh would say he and his boys went out to go sledding. This would be the last time anyone outside of that house saw Susan again.
So they go to church and they are walking home, and apparently they stop at a friend's house and had lunch there. So she is seen and has lunch with a friend before she goes home, and no one ever sees her again. So just letting you know about the timeline.
On December 7th, 2009, Susan was reported missing after her family and friends became alerted when she never showed for work at Wells Fargo. Josh and their 2 young sons were initially thought missing as well, as the 2 children had not been dropped off at daycare, and Josh never showed for work. Police failed to make contact with either Josh or Susan after being alerted. The police broke into the house, fearing that they might be victims of carbon monoxide poisoning. They found no one inside, but noticed 2 box fans blowing on a wet spot on the carpet in the house.
So there's
Kaylee
no
was there?
one home.
Leaving wet stains on the
Oh my
carpet
God.
I
again.
hate all of this.
Dragging your ass across the floor like a
Just
dog.
throwing tampons out of my vagina at people so that they can document them. It's fucking great. It's fucking great.
A box.
Where did you find this video? Because the Irish woman going Faith and Bigora, can you believe she's not here?
Oh, you know what's
It's
funny
really
is
throwing me off.
it's actually it's a video with an Irish man, and it was so thick. I tried to put AI to actually even out the tone so that it was more understandable.
No, I mean, I've met Husey. This is what Irish men sound like.
Thank you.
Super gay.
I
Hit the like
do-
button.
I do want to point out, Amber Alert is bringing up a very good point that I, as an asshole misogynist, did not realize. She says, I think that she was planning for a divorce. So, like, that's the intention of writing that or of recording that video,
Right.
where she's saying, like, these are all the things. She'd be alone and have 2 kids and she didn't want him dipping out and never paying any support. Like some other asshats that we may or may not know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do you don't know anything about divorce. Stop acting like
No.
you know.
I don't know anything about kids and divorce. That's for sure.
So yeah, so the police show up because of doing a check where they think that maybe everyone's dead from carbon monoxide poisoning because she doesn't show up for work. It's now Monday, by the way. She doesn't show up for her job. He doesn't show up for his job, and the kids don't show up for school. So
Which
they
kid
break
stays
in.
in that cage on the left there?
Yes.
The youngest stays in there.
Is that a bird cage? Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's a bird cage.
Oh, okay.
It's a child's coffin.
Also,
So
can I just point out, I would have been so jealous in like the late 90s, early 2000s to have a TV that actually fit into my entertainment system. They truly were rich.
Yeah. And it was Christmas all year round, apparently.
Yeah. I am looking. I don't know that I ever really looked at this picture all that hard, but yeah, so the police find a giant wet spot on the carpet and 2 box fans blowing it to dry it.
I do see the
And
fans. I don't see the wet spot, but
I don't either.
take your word for it.
House.
The crime scene was interesting because when the police came in, they found an attempted cleanup of blood on the floor near a couch. They saw fans blowing in order to dry the blood. They saw her purse was in the house with her wallet, and her keys were later discovered.
A few hours later, Josh and the boys returned home. He claims the three traveled 25 miles away for a camping trip in the desert along the Pony Express Trail.
Now, so they eventually meet up with Josh and the boys, and he says, "Oh, we went camping. We went camping last night." What's crazy about that is that it's the middle of December. It is freezing temperatures, and apparently there was an ice storm that night. So immediately no one believes his story, and they're like, why would you take kids camping? It's Sunday, and they had school on Monday.
Yeah, that doesn't make any kind of sense.
It doesn't.
You could come up with anything better than that.
And then it starts to make even less sense.
Which is odd, considering the frigid temperatures at the time. Even stranger, Josh had Susan's phone on him with the SIM card removed.
He has her phone, and remember, her purse is at the house. Now, what we later learn is that he was actually making some phone calls from her phone. And they asked why, and he said, "No, I didn't do it. Well, I have no idea. She must have been calling." And they said, "Well, you have the phone on you," and he doesn't have an explanation. So it gets weirder.
On their
Now,
way
this
home
is just
from
turning to sloppy police work at this point, where you couldn't make this stick with this guy.
That is a huge part of this story.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
the camping trip, Josh said that he called Susan's phone, but he got voicemail, and so he left a message saying they were on their way home. The police later found Susan's phone in Josh's car. Josh couldn't explain why it was there. At 5:30 p.m., 2 hours after Josh called Susan's voicemail, his sister, Jennifer, called and asked where he'd been. Josh said he was at work.
So, again, let me just stop this, and I'm sorry to keep stopping it. I just know there's so much here. So, he is calling Susan's phone, which we now have later learned that he had Susan's phone.
Was in his possession.
It was in his possession. And then, before he actually heads back and meets with police at his house, his sister calls and says, "Hey, where are you?" And he says, "I'm at work."
Said she knew he was lying. Josh then said he was camping. Jennifer told him to come home. The police were there and Susan was missing. Josh then asked Jennifer how much she knew.
So his sister says, "You need to come home right now because the police are here." And he says, "Oh, did I say work? I meant camping."
Yeah. I'm at work. Well, I'm at Monroe Muffler Break, and you're not here.
Yes.
Oh, well, they sent me on a business trip into
camping,
a KIA, where I'm meeting clients. I'm on a business trip in the middle of nowhere, calling myself like I'm two Vince the Lawyer sock accounts.
And
sorry, can I also say that I'm really annoyed by videos that just use the same footage over and over and over again?
Well,
I really don't need to see this footage anymore.
That's me. That's actually my fault because
okay,
the stuff they
that
were
had
showing
one
was
little bald spot in her hair.
the stuff they were showing was
look?
stock footage, and I was like, let's use some real footage of her.
All right, I'm sorry I called you out. I thought I was calling out a stranger, and instead I called you out. I apologize.
That's okay.
I'll feature it on my show tomorrow.
So then the sister says, you're not at work. And he says, "Okay, yeah, I'm camping." And then she says, "You need to get over here right now because the police are here." And his response to that is, "How much do you know?"
I don't want to overplay my hand here, or like reveal too much. You tell me what the cops told you before I tell you that I killed your sister.
Exactly. How much do you know? That's the response you want to hear.
Yeah.
Did the
What
cops
a
Like
moron.
me trying to
question
get
the
away with murder.
gerbils?
Mm-hmm. What'd you say, Kaylee?
Did the cops even question the gerbils? Come on.
Yeah. They questioned the gerbil's wife.
Yeah. So then he says, okay, I'm coming home.
Jennifer said she didn't understand the question. He then hung up. Within a week, Josh Powell was named a person of interest in his wife's disappearance. Stephen Powell would also come under scrutiny by the police, as he was the last person Josh called before Susan went missing.
So the last person that Josh calls is his father. We need a nickname for him. The tampon collector?
Steven.
Yes.
Stevie Tamps.
Stevie Tamps. I like that. So, yes, Stevie says, okay, you killed her. I understand. What'd you do with her tampons?
During questioning at the West Valley Police Station, Josh adamantly tells investigators he doesn't know where Susan is. But in another room, a detective speaks to young Charlie. He says Susan came with them on the trip.
They are talking to his son in a different room. And the son says, Mom came with us on the camping trip.
But didn't come back.
So your mom stayed at the park?
Yeah.
Where did she stay at the park?
She,
Do you know where?
she stayed at Dinosaur National Park.
It always comes back to dinosaurs.
Hell
No.
yeah.
No.
Triceratops
fucking-
National Park.
Play that
This-
fucking video.
this would
I'm
be a
not
terrible-
pausing on this. No.
This would be a
No.
terrible joke
No.
to go back to dino.
Do you know where at the park? No?
My mom stayed where a crystal are.
It's not entirely clear what Charlie was referring to, or if he was just using his imagination. One theory is that perhaps Charlie was referencing the Dugway geode beds, an area filled with specialized rocks that contain crystals. Not only had the Powell family actually visited this location a year earlier, but curiously, it's also near where Josh says he and the boys had camped out.
One of our detectives just interviewed your children, and your children are telling our detectives that Mom went with you guys last night, and that she didn't come back.
She did not go with us.
Okay. Well, with that, just getting that information, you're not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to let you leave.
Investigators conduct a search of the desert, but find no evidence that Josh and the boys went camping. Yet there was a mine located 30 miles away that reportedly was doused in gasoline and set on fire.
So,
Subject matter expert 3-year-old Braden Cox said that you definitely did it. It's like he also has an imaginary friend that is a pink dragon with 2 heads. You can't believe this kid. I find it funny that the cops are trying to leverage that information against him, like hoping to scare the shit out of him. But it's just like the kid's 2.5.
yeah, but he does say he gives them enough context clues for police to actually find this mine that apparently the night before had been set on fire. And
This
so
kid is literally like I see tampons. Like we are in the sixth sense, and it is dirty.
My new age hippie mom went to a ley line and she didn't want to leave, so now she's reading tarot cards at Joshua Tree because she likes that better than hanging out with my dad. That's what it says.
So you're right. I mean, there's no reason to believe a 3-year-old, but the 3-year-old actually gave enough clues to point them in a weird direction where they find more interesting things.
But I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you guys are in the legal profession, so just for my own train of thought, when the cops are interviewing a kid without one of the parents present, that's not admissible in court, right? They're just trying to scare the shit out of the guy and say your kid told us exactly what happened and get him to confess. That's the only value of doing this, right? Because like I said, they couldn't interview this kid without a parent present or a lawyer present. No?
Well, not necessarily a lawyer, but you are right about the parents, but the parent is the suspect. So
I know, but I'm
are
just saying it would
there
never
are
hold up in
exceptions.
court. Any good lawyer would get that anything the kid said thrown out of court.
So there are plenty of exceptions, not only based on state, and I know this not from my legal profession, but just because of my interest in true crime. There are plenty of legal exceptions where a child can be interviewed. It can potentially be used in a court filing, specifically because the parent has consented to it. And in a lot of situations like this, so again, I don't know about this particular one. In a lot of situations, a parent will consent to it thinking this will help exonerate me. So
yeah, and that guy seems very stupid. So
yeah, this is,
To answer your question, if they ask this kid a direct question and they said, tell me that the sky is blue, a direct question, and whatever the kid answers, you're right. It probably won't be admissible because the kid is, 3 and has an imagination. However, he just dropped enough hints that gave the police spots to check and things, context to go and investigate themselves. So I think that there's a better chance of that being held up in court, and by saying, hey, he mentioned this, and so we took a lead, and then we actually did find,
burned up mine.
Right.
Yeah.
We found something that gave us suspicion that maybe what he said was true. I guess it is kind of a flip of the coin, but still, I think there's probably a 51% chance that'd probably be admissible if it led to, evidence.
Let me hit a couple more super chats, and then Luigi, you're going to take us back in because Sorcerer is here. He says, for $2, Dino Anatomy aside, awesome break from the Dabbleverse. We all need that. And another $2. The 2008 financial crisis hit everyone differently, huh? Yes. I started collecting tampons. So did somebody else's father. I don't know.
Yeah. I got robbed at gunpoint. That's a different episode, though.
Oh, boy.
Also, Sorcerer, Trucker Andy and I are going to get to meet you again in Atlantic City in just a couple of weeks. So we will see you there.
Hell yeah.
Interestingly, Josh allegedly told a work colleague on a previous occasion that the best place to dispose of a body is down a mine shaft.
Oh, yeah. Apparently, he liked telling people that when he's going to kill his wife, he's going to throw her down a mine. And so you combine that with what the kid said, they start putting pieces together.
It's kind of my catchphrase when I walk out of a bar. I always tell everybody, I'm up to throw my wife down a mine shaft. The irony, right?
Alice, down the mine shaft.
Why
I oughta? Yeah.
Shaft.
A friend remembered Josh saying that if you knocked a little of the shaft loose, it would all come tumbling down,
what she said.
and no one would really want to travel down
That
it
is a very
because they are
erotic
all
shot.
so
Jesus
unsafe.
fucking Christ.
Josh
Talk
also
about
learned
tampons.
that there were many abandoned mine shafts in Utah's West Desert. It also came to light that 2 years before Susan's disappearance, Josh took out a $500,000 5-year term life insurance policy.
Wait a minute. That sounds like motive.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
And a $500,000.
I like this new footage that you've inserted, but I got to say, now I miss the old repetitive clips. I want to see her putting her makeup on again.
I want to see her putting in her tampons.
Kaylee, for shaft, please.
Dollar rider for Susan.
Josh? Hey, I'm Chris Johnson. How are you? Okay. Yeah. How you doing? I know this has been difficult for you. What's going through your mind today?
Well, I've been trying to figure out what I can do so I don't sit idle.
The police planned on questioning Josh again. However, on December 19th, 2009, a week after his wife disappeared, he retained the power of attorney and became increasingly uncooperative with the police. A few days later, he took his sons to Puyallup, Washington, to stay with his father, Stephen.
That's a weird, I know that sounded weird, but that is actually how you pronounce that. Puyallup, Washington, I believe it's called. Let me look it up. Yeah, Puyallup. Puyallup.
Got it. Okay.
Puyallup, Washington. It's, yeah.
You say tomato, I say tomato. Right.
I don't know. I really don't know. I'd never heard of it before this. But who lives in Puyallup, Washington? Daddy. Tampon collecting Steve.
Ugh.
for the Christmas holidays. On January 6th, he returned with his brother Michael to pack the family's belongings, indicating that he was moving permanently to Puyallup. There, Josh lived with his 2 sons, his father Stephen, his brothers Michael and Jonathan, and his sister Alina. There, using the website susanpowell.org.
Now, there is a website created called susanpowell.org. Okay. It was initially intended, I guess, to help with gathering people to get information on Susan Powell's whereabouts. Oh boy. But listen to this.
Josh Powell proclaimed his innocence, spouting conspiracy theories about what really happened to Susan.
Josh starts using it to spout his theories on what happened to Susan,
even claiming she had run off with another man. This was all posted anonymously. He also wrote that the allegations against him and his family were due to them speaking out against the Church of Latter-day Saints, 1992, and the divorce.
Oh, shit. I actually hit the wrong thing there.
There you go. You're good.
So who does he start blaming? The Mormon Church for the disappearance of his wife.
Seems believable.
Right. Why not?
That
Why
is
wouldn't
exactly
it be?
the thing that I blame for all of my life's problems as a G.
Yeah.
That is literally anytime anything goes wrong, I'm like, it was the Mormon Church.
Yeah. Anytime I try and get dinner started, that's who I blame when they come to the door and bother me. But,
Anytime I serve dinner, that's who I blame.
I just tried to go to susanpowell.org. It's not available anymore.
I did too. Do not click on anything on that website.
Yeah.
It's all dino porn now.
Even claiming she had run off with another man. This was all posted anonymously. He also wrote that the allegations against him and his family were due to them speaking out against the Church of Latter-day Saints. Stephen also backed up his son's theory that Susan had run off with another man, saying it was probably Stephen Kocher, who disappeared in the same area.
Saying, I wish it was me that she had run off with, but it's not.
Yeah.
And this is like OJ's If I Did It website.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, could have been
Putting the
anybody.
glove
You know,
on.
could have been aliens.
And supposedly in the same area, this guy named Stephen Kocher, who was a journalist, had gone missing. And it was a well-publicized disappearance case. So Josh starts trying to connect the two and says, I think she ran off with Stephen Kocher. He sees an opportunity and starts trying to make that the scapegoat.
That's smart, honestly.
That does not make any sense. How
No,
many
it doesn't.
tampons did Stephen Kocher collect even? Because I feel like the answer is 0.
This story is so convoluted. And I mean, this is a story I've wanted to do for a while, just because I'm telling you, this is one of those stories that is just so stranger than fiction. No one could come up with this. We're not done yet.
Around the same time, Stephen Powell claimed Susan was flirtatious and very sexual with me. Allegations her family and friends completely rebuked.
Now, if you don't know this part, Josh does an interview on TV, and apparently at some point decides he doesn't want to do it anymore, and he gives up. And Stephen was there with him to support him and says, all right, well, then you can bow out. I'll talk for us.
Oh, God.
And
She
Stephen,
was so flirtatious with me.
Allow
Yes.
me.
When she was bent over vomiting in that garbage can, she was arching her back between retching, and it was so sexy that I couldn't keep it in my pants. This guy is the biggest creep I've ever seen.
I could tell by her tampons that she must have been sick with something.
Yeah. She knew I liked tampons, so she put 2 in once, and it was better than 2 Super Bowls.
I mean, this guy's a creep. I mean, how else do you say it? He's a fucking creep. And so, yes, he starts saying, well, look, she came on to me, and I think she wasn't satisfied, and I think she ran away. Just starts saying a bunch of nonsense. Okay. Buckle up, folks.
That was definitely a very one-sided infatuation. Josh's younger brother Michael also became a person of interest in this case when police discovered he had paid.
What'd you say?
Her carpal tunnel bowling glove is so sexy. Your
I saw
diary. I love carpal tunnel gloves now. I'm gonna jerk off with one on.
Ugh. And he was
And
like,
she's giving me a hand job.
he was like, let me rub your wrist. Let me help you.
Yeah, it looks like your wrist is really sore. Why don't you take that thing off and let me smell it?
You guys are both weirdos.
Andy knows how to be a creep.
Also, Rempel Code is coming in again with another $2. Stand back, son. I've got this. Oh, yeah, she wanted me. Everybody is a freak, is what I'm learning tonight.
So here's a new character in the story.
Me.
Josh is Andy's tampon collection. Andy puts like googly eyes on tampons.
Guys, don't visit my Etsy shop. They're not for sale, really. I just want to show them off.
Somebody has to do that, right? I've seen some crazy art. So here's a new character, which is Josh's younger brother, Michael. And, boy. Oh, wait, we got another super chat from Zen.
Hey.
This is a story I wanted to do for a while, says Luigi Greenberg. Every episode. Hi, Andy.
Hey.
Some of them I'm not sure I can get away with because I'm afraid of looking like a creep. This is one of them.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Thank you.
I have been wanting to do this for a while to throw the scent off my trail.
Yes. Now I'm thinking
How
about.
are you related to this family, Luigi?
Yes. Now I'm thinking about tampons with googly eyes. All right. So here is Josh's younger brother, Michael, who gets on the police's radar because
Who have his broken down car towed to a salvage yard 2 weeks after Susan vanished.
he has his broken down car towed to a salvage yard 2 weeks after she vanishes, and he never goes back to get it. And that seems a little weird to the police.
Police recovered the vehicle in Oregon and conducted forensic testing. A cadaver dog indicated the presence of human decomposition in the trunk, but DNA tests were inconclusive.
So there was a dead human in his car, and he tried to get rid of it.
He never gave the police a real answer as to why he left his car there. During a police search of the home where the Powells now lived, police discovered...
All right. So that gives police enough evidence to raid the Powell house. Because remember, now Josh is living with his father with the 2 kids.
Well, this is crazy, though, because you're not saying that this was Susan in the car.
Right.
Which
We
is the
can't
most
say that.
obvious thing that anybody would assume. So I'm wondering if we're going to get to the end of the story and that's somebody different altogether, because there's only one person missing. So it's got to be, unless I'm spoiling the story.
I'm only
decay. It was just a trunk full of tampons the whole time.
Yeah, right.
Come on.
Honestly, that probably would be a good defense to say, no. It wasn't a body. It was my collection of tampons, of used tampons.
Yeah.
Because it was inconclusive. I just don't want to say anything. But yes, of course, it probably was her. But I just don't want to say anything conclusively because we don't have evidence
maybe
of it.
trying to predict that it was going to get even crazier, and he was
It is.
disposing of his own body.
Well,
It's not
his
crazy
brother-
enough for you, Andy.
Oh, it's going to get... Well, we haven't hit the crazy part yet. Let me tell you that. So, the police now have enough to go raid the house. And guess who gets on their radar after they raid the house? Good old Stevie. Tampon collecting Stevie.
Stevie Tamps.
Thousands of images of women taken by Stephen Powell without their knowledge.
He wasn't just doing that whole filming Susan on the bathroom. Apparently, this guy was making a habit of it, of
He was,
various
like,
women.
He was a custodian at Planet Fitness.
That's
installing
literally the
cameras in
garage at my work, actually.
Yeah.
And
This is your boss, isn't it?
You're welcome, boys. The photos are out there.
so not only was he a creep with Susan, he was an overall creep to the world. And oh boy, brace yourself.
On his computer, including images of Susan. He was arrested and eventually found guilty of 14 counts of voyeurism.
I didn't want them to have my journals. There's some very embarrassing things in my journals.
You think? You think there's some embarrassing stuff on your journals, Mr. Tampon collecting hairbrush guy? Yeah.
Dear
Which
Larry,
was-
Susan watched me fail to do one push-up today. It was the worst day of my life. I guess I'll have to kill her.
We got another super chat there from Miss
got
Donna
lovely
G.
Donna G coming in for $20. Thank you so much, Donna G. You are a bright spot in our little sad universe. Hello, Luigi. Hello, Kaylee. Oh, hey, Andy. Hi, Zenny.
Hello.
Hi, Donna.
Donna G's the best.
We love you.
Oh, hey, Donna G. So, in addition to his journals where he was writing about Susan and collecting her tampons, guess what else he was doing?
Sentenced in June 2012 and sent to prison.
He was making video journals of himself. Oh boy.
Making out with a pillow that has Susan written on it.
And we have one of these video journals. Here we go.
Quick one. Wait,
Oh.
Zen, back in with $10. Thank you so much, Zen. Oh, hey, Donner.
So now we have a personal, intimate solo video of him describing Susan.
It's
Can we talk about his bedding and his artwork for 1 second?
It looks like a hotel, doesn't it?
I'm in,
It's-
baby.
He's
I'm
about
back
to,
in.
he's about to make out with a pillow wearing Susan's underwear and a wig made out of her real hair.
Ugh.
Stapled
I
to
like it.
stapled to a
That'd be funny if it
bed
wasn't too
bath
true.
No.
Now, folks, if your skin hasn't peeled off from the cringe yet, here we go.
Was probably the most erotic experience I've had in my entire life. I just
You should get out more.
hate to say it. I mean, of course, I haven't had that many experiences, but Susan has been feeling ill. She had a cold. And I offered to rub her feet, to rub her toes, to give her some stimulation. That one, I probably rubbed her.
Did anyone else's butthole pucker when he says stimulation? Ugh. Ugh.
Self-stimulation.
So he's
I
talking about
thought he was going to be stealing Kleenex out of their garbage can.
he's talking about this erotic.
Yeah.
God damn it, Dr. Steve. All right, if it's Dr. Steve, he can rub whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
So it's this guy talking about how Susan had a cold and asked for some sort of leg foot massage. And he says that it was the most erotic thing he's ever experienced. Ah, boy.
Her feet, her toes, her beautiful feet. She has such pretty feet. Of course, everything about her is pretty.
Kaylee disappeared. Disappeared from cringe.
I'm out. If I was to put porn, I'm out of here.
And I know she felt it. I mean, I know she couldn't have missed it. She's not naive either. I know from what I've read in her journals.
What I've read in her journals.
Oh my God. Yeah. Her handwritten letters to her family saying, "I think my husband's dad is trying to kill me." It was so erotic.
That girl is not naive.
I think Kaylee's vomiting.
yeah, probably.
When I started massaging her legs, I would have loved to go all the way up her legs, but I did do her calves.
Now imagine Karmic is saying this. It sounds like something he would say.
Her feet were resting in my crotch, so I sort of rubbed her calves. She didn't seem to mind at all having me that close. I mean, I was close. I was touching her with my crotch.
I was pinning her down, laying on top of her. It was like it was more like a 96 because she was facing the wrong way, but I was pinning her down, rubbing her legs while I laid across her.
Rubbing my balls on her feet.
Yeah.
So this guy is keeping a video journal where he's like reminding himself of this, just talking to himself about this quote unquote erotic experience.
Right.
I think we've
Who
really
else
lost
would watch
Kaylee. Is
this?
she really gone?
I don't know.
I'm here.
Were you vomiting?
Yeah.
I was just pulling tampons out of my puss.
It was like a
challenging moment for me.
magician's scarf.
Yeah. They just kept coming out.
Except
and
all,
coming.
yeah, except
They
all
were
the
all dated
handkerchiefs
the
were
same.
red.
It was really confusing for everybody.
Magician's scarf. I'm sorry. Someone's got to do that on a Vegas stage, right?
No. What
Well,
the
it'll be
hell
one
is
of those
wrong with
endless.
you?
It'll be one of those endless gifs. that are just like,
Exactly.
it never stops.
Dun 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 dun.
Like a hot dog production line.
He's not done.
It's hard to remember everything I did. Man, I love that woman. She is so beautiful. I can't even get enough of her. Can't get enough of looking at her. She's so pretty.
All right, on a
He's ready
scale of
for his modern dance class.
on a scale of 1 to 10, Kaylee, how turned on are you right now?
I like 100%. That's literally why I had to go away. It was not only pulling tampons out, but pulling them out for a fucking purpose.
Oh yeah.
Rocco
think about-
Orby does bring up exactly this point for $5. Admit it, Lucy, you'd fall head over heels for him.
Yeah.
Such a thorough and considerate lover. Yes, it's true. I
Jazz
can't
hands,
deny it.
Dr. Steve. You know you're into it.
I'm in. Let's go, baby.
Jazzy Steve.
We got another one a little further up.
Thank you. Oh, it's Fiore. Thank you. $5. Woo. Fuck yeah, Kaylee. More famous than Tony. Can't wait to see you make fun of him more this year. He and I actually just filmed a new review together, so that will be coming up soon. I
Nice.
hardly made fun of him. I'll do better.
Who?
Tony from Hack the Movies. The very
Never heard.
famous Tony from Hack the Movies.
I lo-
Husey Entertainment coming in also for $5. Whatever the hell they do over there in Ireland. Hopefully this doesn't come across as sexist, but I'm pretty sure that the Fellowship of the Ring traveled across Kaylee's front.
What? I don't even know what that means.
Thanks for
Neither do
narrating
I,
the
but
video.
Hit the like
Thanks for
button.
narrating. Yeah. Good narration, Husey. Thank you.
I did see one comment that I really appreciated, which was someone Jeff Moss says, "I wish he would have said, 'Oh, Debbie,' during the journal."
No. God damn it, Jeff.
For the Howard Stern fans who get that joke. Oh, Debbie. All right. So the police find this creep and Stephen goes to prison.
As a result of this, Josh lost custody of his two kids, and they were sent to live with Susan's parents.
Despite motive,
Okay. So that is a big part of the story, is that because Josh was living with a creep, he loses custody of the two kids.
Yeah. The kids
Thank
were quoted as
God.
saying, best day of my life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hang out with
Grandpa's a
you creep.
weirdo.
Yeah. He's got a closet full of hair and tampons.
It smells like cadavers in here.
Ah,
Yeah.
gross. God, why do creeps have to? Yeah, what? I get that's what makes them creeps, but seriously, like, where do you keep a big bag full of used tampons and hair? Like,
The sock drawer. I mean,
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know.
I'm not closing my closet right now. Whatever, losers.
Ugh. Did he have to buy like a notepad to keep the dates on the? I do have questions. I'll just say that. All right.
Opportunity and circumstantial evidence. Josh Powell remained a free man.
So, like you said earlier, how could they not pin this on him? It seems like there's a lot of stuff going on there with big arrows pointing right at him.
I don't believe Josh Powell was arrested earlier simply because they did not have a body. In a lot of cases across the country, depending on jurisdiction, no body, no prosecution is kind of the rule of thumb.
Actually, Luigi, can you pause for a second?
Yep.
I think this is a really good question. Let's go back to this for just 1 second. Original Missing in Action says, did I miss how she was actually killed? Let's go back to that.
Yeah, she's missing. We don't know.
Yeah, there's no evidence that she's even dead, really.
Yeah,
she's a 2.5-year-old said that she was near a burning mine shaft.
We know that something is up.
Yes, we know something's wrong. Very, very wrong. But we don't know any of the details. We just know that her husband drove out somewhere and left her and then came back home and had his 2 kids with him. But what we can surmise is that he called his younger brother, and his younger brother transported the body somewhere because there was decomposing human flesh in his brother's car, but they just couldn't identify it or link it to Susan. That's all we know. And then there's this.
Social worker Elizabeth Griffin Hall, who was contracted by the Department of Social and Health Services, brings 7-year-old Charlie and 5-year-old Braden on a supervised visit to see Josh. When the boys run to him, he reportedly says that he has a surprise and immediately locks Griffin Hall out of his house.
So there's a social worker that is scheduled to bring the kids to him because he doesn't have custody. He has to have supervised visitation with his 2 kids. The social worker brings the 2 kids to his house, and he meets them outside and says, I have a surprise for you inside. And they run inside, and he shuts the door and locks out the social worker.
But I think I need help right away. He's on a very short lease with CFHS, and CPS has been involved. And this is the craziest thing. He looked right at me and closed the door. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm just waiting to know where you are.
Okay, I'd like to pull out of the driveway because I smell gasoline and he won't let me in.
You want to pull out of the driveway because you smell gasoline, but he won't let you...
He won't let me in.
He won't let you out of the driveway?
He won't let me in the house.
Whose house is it?
Kids in the house and he won't let me in. It's a supervised visit.
I understand. Whose house is it?
Josh Powell.
Okay.
Okay, how long will it be?
I don't know, ma'am. They have to respond to emergency, life-threatening situations first. The first available deputy...
Well, this could be life-threatening.
After Griffin Hall hangs up,
Can you pause
Josh
for a
is...
second?
Yes.
So this social worker did everything that she was supposed to do.
Yep.
Social workers are mandated reporters, and she, as soon as she realized that something really icky was happening, she called the cops. She said, I am concerned, and you need to get somebody out here immediately.
Yeah. But she's got Lou Costello on 911, who's like, who? What? Who's on? Where? The guy fucking, it's like pulling teeth, getting this guy to understand what the fuck's happening.
I edited that down, by the way, just to be clear. But to Kaylee's point, she did everything right. Yeah.
So the 911 operator was an even bigger moron than what we just heard.
And I think I did cut this out, but he was reprimanded because he was such a moron. But apparently she did everything right. Yeah, she told him the address, told him exactly. He just kept asking why, what's the situation? And she's like, get someone out here,
because he killed his wife and now he's going to burn his children alive with him. This guy, the 911 operator is pissing me off. I'm like,
oh no,
at a loss for words at this point. But I don't know that anybody would have made it on time to save these kids. But that guy is a fuck up.
Social worker is just jealous that he didn't steal her tampons. Also, what it comes down to.
So right now, Steve is in prison, by the way, and he gets convicted. And yeah, I mean, this social worker really didn't do anything wrong.
Yes.
Home suddenly bursts into
The house
flames.
bursts into flames.
And were you calling about the fire in the 8200 block?
Yes, he exploded the house.
Ma'am,
yes,
do you know
he exploded the house.
Okay, do you know the exact...
And he blew up the house and the kids. The kids and the husband and the father were in the house? Yes, he slammed the door in my face.
Investigators.
So Josh kills
This
himself.
is what they always say. Like
and the kids.
when you sorry, Luigi, but
No.
when you call an operator, anybody, customer service, and they seem like they don't want to help you, hang up and call back until you get somebody that actually has a fucking brain in their head that's willing to do their job and help you. Don't just keep having a conversation with an idiot. Call back and talk to somebody that knows what they're doing. But
I don't know the details, but that does sound like what she did, which also goes again to her trying to efficiently solve this problem or get someone out there, which is she's like, look, look, dipshit, you're not fucking helping me. Click. I'm going to call back and get somebody else. Yeah. Crazy.
Would later learn Josh, Charlie, and Braden died as a result of carbon monoxide poisoning. But prior to the explosion, injuries to the boys' necks and heads indicated Josh attacked his sons with a hatchet. All of this occurring while Griffin Hall tried to get help.
She made a 911 call. That call took about 6 minutes. He didn't dispatch somebody for 8 minutes. And after the dispatch, it took 13 minutes for the police officers to actually arrive on the scene. By that point, the house was already exploded, the children were hacked up, and everybody was dead. So the fact is, during the 911 call is when he should have been making the dispatch to the police officer on the street, providing the address, and allowing the police officer to decide the sense of urgency of that call, not leaving it in the hands of the 911 dispatcher.
The 911 dispatcher, whom Griffin Hall spoke with initially, would receive a reprimand, and he himself regretted the way he handled the call.
You think? You think?
Yeah. He just kept saying, "You sound hysterical. Are you on your period?"
Yeah.
And can I get some of that? Let's go.
That's, I mean, God, you're not even joking, man. Like, it's pretty much how he treats her. He's completely condescending. He's acting like she's making a big deal out of nothing. You're a 911 dispatcher. If anyone is entitled to make something out of nothing, it's a 911 dispatcher.
I know.
Correct me if I'm wrong, though. At this point, we're still in that little podunk town, right?
This is, Polyub, Washington.
The town that we don't know how to pronounce.
Right.
I do feel like in these sorts of towns, they don't necessarily know how to handle situations like this. This is probably not a call he's been familiar with before. I'm going to make excuses for the man in this situation.
It doesn't happen every day.
Yeah. It's complicated, you know? I would feel like shit if I was this guy, but
yeah, I would feel like shit. Yes, I would. But yeah,
not as shitty as Braden Cox.
But this
not
guy,
as carbon monoxide is Braden Cox is the real answer to that. Ooh.
Yeah, he locks his kids in and attacks them with a hatchet and then blows his house up. And we still don't know what happened to Susan.
He said it was a nightmare for him. Well, guess what? It was a nightmare for that entire family who lost those children. It's a living nightmare for the Department of Children and Family Services person who made the phone call that she's going to have to live with the rest of her life.
We begged them not to let them go to that last visitation.
So the grandparents who had the custody of the kids say that they actually said, please don't leave them alone with Josh, because we think he's capable of anything.
My wife asked them, I asked them, I called up and said, he will kill them, he will kill them. And we had told them that, and they said, don't worry, we got it covered, we have a supervisor there. And then they're gone.
How could Josh Powell kill his very own children in cold blood? And why at that moment?
At the time, right before he killed the kids.
What?
When making them drink NyQuil and incapacitating them before you kill them is so much easier.
Yeah.
Why chase them around a burning house with a hatchet when you could just knock them out?
Ugh,
sorry.
It's so
thinking smarter,
disturbing.
not harder. That's
Andy wants to be an efficient killer.
I know when I kill my children, that's how I'm going to do it.
Down a shaft.
We got another super chat.
Rumpled trench coat here for $5. Thank you so much. Can somebody read that?
She should have told 911 there was an illegal still in the house to get the police there sooner.
That would have
Agreed.
probably helped. Although
I did-
maybe not in 2012.
I did see someone in the chat also say tampons are very flammable.
Yeah, I know. It's like a vinyl collection.
So educational.
So, of course, the question is why? Why would he have done that? And this was the family attorney actually giving what she believes to be the reasons.
He was being ordered to take a psychosexual evaluation and to take a polygraph because they had found incest cartoon porn on his computer in Utah.
So he had incest cartoon porn on his computer that was found, which, as far as I understand, is actually perfectly legal because of the fact that it's not real. But it was still alarming to the child services. I forget what it was called, Department of Child Services, and they said, "Well, we think this is enough to ask you if you're a creep," and he didn't want to take the test.
I just love the idea of like two stick figures 69ing, and it says mom arrow, son arrow.
Mom.
Incest porn.
That makes it so much better for me. Thank you, Andy.
Yeah.
But they're animals. They're like chipmunks. That's probably what it was.
Episode or issue 4 of Jug World.
Yes. There you go. God, there's a lot of karmic parallels and similarities in here, isn't there?
Yeah, it's a little too close.
But the story's not over yet. There's still more.
So the walls were closing in on him. He didn't, and he was also disallowed on a motion to return the kids. So, and he knew there'd be a polygraph dealing with the death of his wife, the murder of his wife. So it was almost like a state-created danger in our mind.
Josh Powell, who lost custody of his 2 boys after being suspected of killing his missing wife Susan back in 2009, killed himself and the children Sunday by setting the house on fire with a gas explosion.
The fire and apparent explosion was so powerful it shook neighbors' homes and sent bits of insulation from the house raining down on the neighborhood.
Friends and relatives of Josh told authorities that he'd contacted them by email minutes before the incident to say goodbye. Records also showed that he had withdrawn $7,000 from his bank account and had donated his children's toys and books to local charities the day before the incident.
He was planning this. He had been planning this. He gave away his kids' toys, gave away money, called friends and family, and said goodbye.
On February 11, 2013, roughly 1 year after the death of his brother and young nephews, Michael Powell died by committing suicide after jumping off the roof of a 7-story building in downtown Minneapolis.
The brother, who had his car towed, 1 year later commits suicide.
In July 2017, Stephen Powell was released from prison with time off for good behavior. He died from a heart attack in July 2018 at the age of 68. Police never found any evidence.
What you're telling me now is that the bloodline is done, so we never have to worry about this ever again, right?
Yes.
Thank God.
Thankfully. Well, there's a sister.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Halloween
Listen,
5.
That he had anything to do with his daughter-in-law's disappearance.
So police don't think Stephen actually had anything to do with the disappearance, but they do have a theory.
Police believe that Josh and his brother Michael were responsible for Susan's disappearance, and likely his father Stephen had some knowledge of what happened to her also. But at this stage, anyone who was involved is dead, and so what really happened to Susan, it died with them. Susan remains a missing persons case,
Squeak.
but it's likely her body is down some mine.
What'd you say?
I said squeak. They had balloon animals. The balloon animals are going to start fucking any second.
Phallic-shaped balloon animals, too.
Mine shaft in Utah. There have been calls to have her legally declared dead, with the cause being homicide. Police closed the case of what happened to Susan in 2013, and likely unless some unforeseen information comes to light, we will never know what really happened to her. The people who did know are dead. And it is an incredibly tragic story, especially what happened to the two young boys.
And there you have it. That is the story that we know of the disappearance of Susan Cox Powell. The grandparents actually sued the city and got a judgment because of that shitty 911 operator.
Police work. Yeah.
Yeah. And they won, but it's actually on appeal. So we don't know the final conclusion of it.
Right now?
As far as I understand, they were given a big settlement, and then the judge changed the settlement, and I think they're the ones appealing something about it.
That's crazy.
Well, they're conducting an internal investigation, and so the people involved will be suspended with pay, and then it'll just all go away once everybody once the people that care the most pass away from waiting too long for them to resolve it. So.
Sadly, that's exactly what I think. It's exactly
They
what
should
is going
probably call 911 about it. I feel like that would solve all the problems for them.
Yeah, but if they win, donate all that money to the smoke alarm manufacturers. As the house burned down. That's why.
So I think you guys can see why I struggled with talking about this one, because it's so fucking dark and disturbing.
Dark, a lot of twists and turns, and you presented it wonderfully. I'm very excited to have had the full story of the disappearance of Susan Cox Powell.
Well, thank you.
Yes. We do have a couple more super chats here. We have Jack Sampson Forever for $2. And if one of you would read that, I would love you.
This show makes me feel so normal. Thank you, guys.
I guess we know who isn't into tampons and hair.
Or dino porn. Biz wife.
JWO.
Thank you for the $2. Yes. Jug World Order.
How can we not? How can we not? Yeah, you made me sad, but also happy that I'm not listening to hockey porn. So
I thought you were going to say that you don't live in Utah.
Oh, no, I'm moving to Utah tomorrow. Let's go.
See, that's the weirdest thing about, having like interests in the dark sides of the world, is that they're not always easy to communicate, but they're still fulfilling in a way of, satisfying that, scratching that itch of wanting to know the weird shit that people are capable of. It's weird, but yeah, that's a story that I just feel like there's a lot of warnings in that story, or a lot of education in that story, that people just need to always be mindful of other fucking weirdos in their life.
Yeah. Lesson number 1, don't record yourself recounting the time you rubbed your daughter-in-law's feet. Don't do that.
We definitely don't talk about putting your balls on her feet. That part, leave out. Oh God, there's sick people in the world. And yeah, I'm so normal, and I'm actually very, very bland when I see stuff like this.
That's why we all enjoy stuff like this, right? I mean, that's why we want escapism into this kind of stuff. That's what makes it exciting. And that is why I love Edge Files so much. We're going to be coming back, I think, in a couple of weeks. I have an idea for what I might do when I'm presenting. But before we do that, Luigi, remind everybody where they can find you.
You find me at Luigi Greenberg on YouTube. Check out Skeptical Robot on Fridays. And we are going back to our schedule of unboxing Eric, unboxing Riley Martin, and unboxing Bigfoot It Is on Tuesdays and Wednesdays on Hack Ride Studios channel. And please check out Friday's episode of Skeptical Robot, which just got released. Thank you, DJ Electrify. That is one of the amazing hosts of Hack Ride Studios channel shows, and my friend DJ Electrify.
And mine.
Friday's episode of super talented. You'd be very, very lucky to have her tampons.
I'd take them. I'd go to jail for that.
This past Friday's episode of Skeptical Robot had a copyright strike, and I fought it, and it got released today. We're very excited. Pat Dixon joined us to talk about the beginning of the origin of the Satanic Panic of the 1980s, and it was a lot of fun. It was a pretty fun episode. This upcoming Friday, we're gonna, you know what? Let me just be honest. We were planning on talking about Dungeons and Dragons as the second part of the Satanic Panic, but we're not sure that we're going to have an episode. I just had a death in the family happen yesterday, and it might be throwing off our schedule, but we are intending, as long as nothing gets in the way, we are intending to have Skeptical Robot on Friday talking about Dungeons and Dragons. So
I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you for showing up for this, though. You did a great job.
Thank you. Appreciate
Amazing.
Nobody would have guessed that you.
This stuff keeps me distracted. Other than being sad all day.
Sorry, boss.
Trucker Andy.
Thank you.
Now that we are leaving off on that sad note after the Susan Cox Powell sad note, tell everybody where they can find you.
Come forget your troubles over at the All Apologies Podcast YouTube channel, where tomorrow night with Joe Sixpack, I will be discussing Logan Paul, his little visit to the Japanese suicide forest, as well as his ill-fated crypto scam that CoffeeZilla brought up, and a few other things. I will say, Luigi, that I have been blocked by a certain douchebag that one of our lol cows that we feature all the time, has tried to stop me from shitting on him, and I'm going to double down. So
it's not my
Is it
buddy.
4 letters?
4 letters. The first name is 4 letters. The last name is 4 letters. Yeah.
So you're on his radar.
Yes.
That's fucking cool, man.
So check that out on our YouTube channel. Subscribe there. And if you want even more content with my Sunday Patreon only exclusive co-host Nelly, you can join our Patreon for $3, and there's plenty of episodes waiting for you over there.
Yay.
bit.ly/stay sorry.
Yes.
That's 1 star.
Double
Sorry.
sorry. No. Sorry. You can find me on Once Over with Kaylee on YouTube, where I do movie reviews. I talk about the Dabbleverse. And you can also find me on Patreon. I've actually been very active on the Patreon this week and will continue to be. I just did a review of a double-headed dildo featuring our favorite attorneys, Taber Benedict and Susser. So if you want to watch me making literal ass out of myself with the 2 dumbest attorneys of all time, you can check that out.
Is one end much larger than the other?
I didn't think so, but the answer to that question after playing around is yes.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You don't want to know the answer.
Big guy.
Yeah, you don't want to know the answer to that.
Yeah.
However, I want to talk a little bit about what we are going to be doing for my next episode. So I'm going to be hosting the next one. We got a couple of weeks before our next episode of the Edge Files. And I think I have a fun idea. I think we are going to be talking about one of my favorite mathematicians who went completely insane and started writing mathematical proofs about Satan. I think that might be where we're going. It'll be a little bit less dino porn. It'll be a little bit less horrible sorrow and a little bit weirder of a friggin' story. We're gonna
Proving
see what happens about that.
That's not scary at all.
Is it John Nash?
No, it's not John Nash, but I do love Nash. Nash is absolutely incredible. His game theory work is outstanding.
Next! Sorry.
God bless you.
It's funny. John Nash is the subject of the movie Beautiful Mind.
Yep.
And when I saw that movie, I was pretty fascinated, but I immediately wanted to read the book because I was like, what's the real story? Because there's so much that just didn't seem believable. And if you actually read the book based on it, you realize the whole movie's fiction. None of that shit actually happened. He was schizophrenic, but he was very, very limited in his schizophrenia. And also the movie A Beautiful Mind leaves out all the gay stuff. He was arrested several times for propositioning men in bathrooms. And you got to think, that should have made it to the movie, right?
Yeah.
You know what else is also weird about that? There was no tampon stuff in there either.
Yeah.
Weird.
I'm sure
Weird. I'll try to
Netflix
bring
is
some
making
tampon
a
stuff for
limited
next times.
I'm sure it'll be a Netflix limited series any day now.
Yes.
I will make
Produced
Beautiful
by
Mind.
Ryan Murphy.
It'll be like the gay hockey series, but it's A Beautiful Mind, but with gay stuff.
I have to tell you, Hunter Duke pointed this out on Twitter, but I have not stopped getting fed ads for that stupid gay hockey series. I get hats that have gay hockey series slogans on them. I get every single social media platform. I've never typed that into a search engine. It is literally just from the Edge files. So I guess thanks to everybody for that.
All I get
Andy
is
in particular.
watching Blind Mike's show, and every single ad break was about boner pills. And I was like, I mean, I didn't sign up for this. I know I'm a certain age. Please stop trying to sell me boner pills.
You're clicking not interested as quickly as you possibly can.
Yeah.
All right,
Maybe you
Luigi,
like
take
dino
us out
porn.
for the night.
Hey, thank you so much for being with us. We love every one of you. I will issue an apology to say I'm sorry that I left you all way more depressed and sad than you were when you got here.
Yeah.
But folks, these stories are real, and I always just think of them as education. Yeah. See, Brian Workman, thank you for the $5. God will ultimately decide everyone. Be faithful and aware. You know, I do like be aware. I think that is the lesson of this story is be aware.
What are you, Mormon over there?
Yes.
I'm about to get so faithful on myself.
Keep track of your tampons. Keep track of your hair. Don't let the weirdos get it and steal it from you. Good night, everybody. Have a great one.
Good night, everybody.
See you next time.
Bye.